All right, so we're diving deep today
Yeah,
into personal growth.
we are indeed.
And we're not just, dipping our toes in the water. We're going all in with 9 books.
9. That's ambitious.
It is. But lucky for us, we've got these amazing notes from the Awakening Conversations podcast.
Oh, yeah, I love that show.
Me too. They really break down these books that, they kind of handpicks for like the ultimate personal growth journey.
Exactly. It's like a curated reading list, but in podcast form.
Right. And what we're going to do is we're going to take their insights and we're going to pull out like the most impactful ideas.
The stuff that can really make a difference in your life.
Yeah, like actionable advice, thought-provoking questions, things that you can, start using right away.
Love it. So where do we begin?
Okay, so first up, we've got 2 books that are all about laying the foundation for personal growth.
Foundations are important.
Right. You got to start somewhere.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What are these foundational books?
All right, so we're starting with The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz and The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer.
Ooh, classics.
Right. I mean, I feel like everyone's heard of The 4 Agreements, but I'm curious to hear your take on how they actually lead to personal growth.
Okay, so the 4 agreements, they're all about building this healthier relationship with yourself, like at their core.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Ruiz's agreements. Let me see if I can remember all 4. Okay, so be impeccable with your word. Don't take things personally. Don't make assumptions. And always do your best. And when you really think about it, they're all encouraging you to take responsibility for your thoughts, your actions. Just imagine how different your relationships would be if you truly committed to speaking with integrity.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Or how much lighter you'd feel if you just stopped taking every little thing personally.
That's so true. It's funny, I always thought of those agreements as guidelines for interacting with other people, but seeing them as a way to improve my relationship with myself, that's a whole new perspective.
It's a powerful shift. And speaking of powerful shifts, The Untethered Soul, that title alone just draws you in.
Right. Okay, tell me about that one.
So Singer, he introduces this concept of your inner roommate.
Inner roommate.
Yeah, it's like that constant voice in your head.
Oh, I know that voice.
Right. Sometimes it's critical, sometimes it's fearful, and he doesn't say silence it or anything like that, but rather just observe it without judgment.
Okay.
It's you have a roommate, but you don't have to let them dictate your every move.
You can set some boundaries.
Exactly. You get to choose which thoughts to engage with, which ones to just let pass by.
Okay, so we're getting a handle on our inner critic, but how do we actually put that into practice?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is, and I think these next 2 books might have some answers. So we've got Mindfulness in Plain English by Bhante Gunaratana.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard good things about that one.
And then we have The Path of Awakening by Alonso Puig.
Ooh, interesting combination. So are these all about practical techniques or...
Yeah, exactly. How do we take those foundational ideas and make them a reality in our everyday lives?
All right, I'm ready for some practical wisdom.
Okay, so first, Mindfulness in Plain English. So this one, Gunaratana just does such a brilliant job of demystifying mindfulness and meditation.
Yeah, that's so important. Because meditation can feel really intimidating to some people,
Totally.
Yeah.
But he shows you that it's not about emptying your mind or sitting on a mountaintop for hours on end.
Right. It's not about being a monk.
Exactly. It's about paying attention
Okay.
to the present moment with openness and curiosity.
Being present. I like that.
Yeah. So imagine you're having your morning coffee instead of rushing through it while you're scrolling through your phone.
Which I am so guilty of.
Right. But instead, you actually taste the coffee. You
Yeah.
feel the warmth of the mug in your hands. You notice the sunlight streaming through the window. It's about bringing that level of awareness to everything, even the little things.
I love that. Bringing mindfulness to everyday moments. It's so much more accessible than, the stereotypical image of meditation.
Right. No mountaintop required.
Exactly.
All right. So what about the path of awakening? You could tie into that mindfulness practice.
It does. Puig, he's really focused on the mind-body connection.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, he shows how our thoughts and emotions can actually impact our physical well-being, literally.
Well,
And he argues that self-compassion is just crucial for navigating challenges.
self-compassion.
Yeah. Think about it this way. Would you talk to a friend the way your inner critic sometimes talks to you?
Probably not.
Right. So why not extend that same kindness to ourselves, especially when things are tough?
That's such a good point. So, okay, we've got self-awareness, we've got mindfulness, we've got self-compassion. It's like we're building a toolkit for life here.
I love that analogy.
But things are about to get even more interesting
Oh, how so?
because now we're getting into vulnerability and strength.
Vulnerability and strength. That's an interesting pairing.
Right. They seem like opposites. So the books we're looking at now are Daring Greatly by Brené Brown and The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Feck by Mark Manson.
Okay, those are two very different vibes. I'm very curious how those go together.
Me too. It seems counterintuitive, but they actually complement each other really well.
Okay, I'm listening.
So Brown argues that vulnerability, like that willingness to be open and authentic, even when it's scary.
Putting yourself out there.
Exactly. She says that that's the key to deeper connection and what she calls wholehearted living.
I love that. Wholehearted living.
Yeah. And it's about like letting go of the need to be perfect and allowing ourselves to be imperfections and all.
That takes a lot of courage.
It does. Okay, but now where does Manson's not giving effect fit in?
Yeah.
Because isn't that the opposite of being vulnerable?
Well, not necessarily. Manson's point is more about, like, we can't care deeply about everything.
Right. We have limited energy.
Exactly. So we need to choose our battles wisely.
Be intentional.
Yes. And it doesn't mean becoming apathetic, but it does mean being selective with where we invest our emotional energy.
So it's like choosing to care deeply about the things that truly matter to us.
Yes. And letting go of the rest.
So it's about finding that balance between openness and like healthy boundaries. Saying yes to vulnerability in the areas that, align with our values. But being okay with saying no to the things that drain us or don't align with who we want to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's about being intentional with our energy.
Okay, I'm feeling very energized right now.
Yeah.
We've covered self-awareness, mindfulness, vulnerability. It's a lot.
It is a lot, but we're almost there.
What's the final piece of this personal growth puzzle?
Purpose.
Purpose.
Yeah. And this is where we bring in 3 more books. We've got Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, The Man Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma, and Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl.
Okay, another trio of classics.
Yeah.
And they all offer a unique perspective on finding meaning, fulfillment. Like that's the ultimate goal, right? Living a life of purpose.
It's a pretty amazing goal.
So where do these authors recommend we even start? Like how do we find our purpose?
Okay, so first up, Napoleon Hill. His book is a classic for a reason, and he really emphasizes setting clear goals and pursuing them relentlessly.
Going after what you want.
Yes. He argues that success is within reach if we have the right mindset and, like, a burning desire.
That fire in your belly?
Yes. But it's not just about material success, right? It's about aligning your goals with your deepest values and passions.
So it's about knowing what you want to achieve.
Yeah.
And why it matters to you.
Exactly. Okay, now, Sharma's book, it's a fable about
Right.
this high-powered lawyer who, he's achieved all this worldly success, but he feels empty, unfulfilled.
That's kind of a nightmare scenario.
Right. So he embarks on this journey to a Himalayan monastery where he learns the secrets to a more meaningful life. Things like meditation, self-reflection, service to others.
So it's about more than just like the external achievements.
Yes. It's about finding that inner peace and connection as well.
Finding that balance.
Exactly. And then we have Frankl, who, his story is just incredibly powerful. He offers a perspective on finding meaning in the face of just unimaginable suffering.
Right. He was a Holocaust survivor.
He was. And he witnessed firsthand the depths of human cruelty. But he also discovered that even in the darkest of times, we have this freedom to choose our attitude and find meaning. He argues that our primary drive in life isn't pleasure, but the search for meaning.
Wow. That's powerful. To find meaning even in those circumstances, it really puts things in perspective. Okay, so we've explored 9 books here that covers self-awareness, mindfulness, vulnerability, purpose. So it's like a roadmap for personal growth. This journey that starts within and ultimately leads us to a more fulfilling life.
I love that. A roadmap. Because, it's not a straight line. It's a journey with twists and turns and ups and downs.
And these books give us the tools to navigate it all.
They do. And, they offer so much knowledge and inspiration. But it's up to each individual to decide which books resonate most with them, which ideas they want to explore further.
It's about finding what works for you.
Exactly. So I guess the question is, where will you start? Which book will you choose?
And how will you apply its wisdom to create a life that feels more aligned, more fulfilling, more you? Keep those questions in mind as you continue exploring these ideas, because this is just the beginning.
The beginning of an amazing journey.